Well, good evening, all my little Pokemons. Mewtwo here with you tonight, and we're going to have a little bit of a story time video for you tonight. Now, a little forewarning before this video starts. I'm going to use a couple of language words that are not necessarily polite words. I'm not going to be swearing, using the words in the context of their function or defining properties. I'm not just going to shout swear words at you. It's a warning. Some people really get up on swear words, so if that's a problem with you, then stop watching now. I understand. Elsewise, we're going to have a nice adult conversation about words. Okay, specifically, this is going to be about replacement words. Things that you may have learned as a child, your parents may have used it to define things, to make it easier for the child as opposed to just tell them the right word. I have quite a few of these in my life. So, we'll start with why and how on this one before I even tell you what the word is. But what the word is about is pretty obvious at the beginning here. So, this word came about from when my sister was small, back when she was just potty training. So, before me, because she's 2 years older than me, and she was already in the process before I plorped out. Our potty chair, the one my parents got, was a little short wooden chair that had kind of a flap down, similar to a high chair. So you had a little table there, and in the middle bottom was the little metal chamber pot portion that the fun part went into. Anyway, so it's a little kind of high chair type chair. It's short, so the kid can actually get in and sit down on their own. The adult would flap down the table part and say, "Dear do." But because it had a cute little table, and my sister was a very ingenuous little baby, she liked to draw. She don't really draw so much anymore, but she was like playing with crayons and stuff back then, like any good little kid. And she'd get paper and crayons, and she'd be doodling while she was doodling. And it would start to be referred to as she'd be sitting there doing her business. Now, I know a lot of other people have used that word for this, but we're not done yet. Oh no, my family was way weirder than that. So, doing your business started to be what we call it. I mean, we, before I even was. So, by the time I got here, I was already in the final form of this whole evolution. But that's what my family called it, was doing your business. And that got shortened, doing your biz. And then, that magical word, doing, left the party. And therefore, you had two functions that a human did in the toilet. You had your pee, and you had biz. And until I was like 5 or 6, I didn't know that wasn't the right word. Why? Because American television doesn't really like to talk about potty things. So, a lot of sitcoms, most sitcoms, if they even had a bathroom, didn't even have a toilet. I was surprised when I looked into it later on as an adult and saw how few actually had toilets and who didn't. I know that Married with Children had a toilet because that was kind of a plot line with them. But I noticed in Perfect Strangers, no toilet. You had a perfect view into the bathroom during at least a few of the seasons, and all they have is a sink. They do not have the throne. So, no toilet. And most shows didn't have toilets. They also had the adults sleeping in 2 separate beds. So, Americans, we just apparently can't deal with adults being adults. like, or anyone going doo-doo or wee-wee. Now, we did use the word pee. So it was pee and biz. It was around 5 or 6. I was at one of my cousin's house, and I don't know what caused it, but the topic of going to the toilet came up. And one of them used the word, these bad words, crap. I didn't even know that was a word. That was a new one to me. My parents didn't use that word. So I learned that word that day. I learned that that was another word for biz, which I thought was weird. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you go biz crap? So why that? I didn't know my parents made that word up. In fact, the only people that probably knew that word are my immediate family and a few aunts, uncles, and grandparents that aren't around anymore. So that's a word I just learned wasn't the real word. I learned a whole bunch of other words in a very short stream for the number 2. I learned shortly after crap. I learned shit. I learned poop. And later in school, I learned excrement and stool were official words for it. Yeah, I grew up with the word biz. So there's that. Um, I know a lot of different people use a lot of different terms for it, and in fact, a bonus portion here, I over the years learned many different words for taking your time to go deal with the problem. Taking a number 2, dropping a deuce. Taking the kids to the pool. Taking the Cosby kids to the pool. Taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. Walking the dog. Fertilizing the lawn. I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but if you have any fun terms for that, or any other weird words, or not weird words from where you are, for the number 2 function, please feel free to put it in the comments. I'm intrigued. I will not be insulted if it's a swear word. Please let me know. I just like to know what other people use for words for things. Now, we can't just leave it at poop today. No. We're going to go somewhere else. We're going to go to pee. Now, I knew the word pee. Pee was the word we used, so I was good there. I know many other words for that. Number 1, urine, urinate. And the one word I learned as a very young child, which made my mother mad. Well, we were over visiting one of my aunts and uncle's house, and I was small, like diaper age still. Keep your mouth shut. I was wearing diapers. I was a very small child, and I apparently managed to do a number 1. So my illustrious, wonderful uncle that my mother did not like very much decided to use a wonderful set of words here. Oh, you pissed your pants. You just said that word to a very small child. Do you know what small children do when they hear a new word? This is why Sesame Street is very careful with what words they use. Immediately, little baby me started using, or just cheerfully shouting out the word, piss, piss, piss. My mother gave him such a look for saying that to me. Because not only did I start saying it then, a small parakeet child that knows no better than other than he heard a new word, and it's what he can say. He's gonna say it. Because little tiny kid. So for probably a week or so, I went around the house saying piss. My mother was not pleased. So, yeah, that happened. But, just like there aren't as many fun words for urination as there are for taking a poo, watering the lawn, watering the bushes, things like that still work for that too. But it's not as exciting as a poo. And we don't want to just talk about excrement items. Let's talk about something less gross, depending on your opinion here. Um, let's talk about fizzy beverages. That's one that's got enough words for it. I firmly grew up in a pop region. All of those fizzy sugar beverages were called pop. Uh, Now, I lived in pop zone for the first 20-ish years of my life. I was about 23, 24 when I moved out of the western PA into central Pennsylvania. Now, where I moved from pop to soda. I was still in my mid to early 20s, so my brain was still good and squishy. I was good at adapting still. And I quickly adapted the word soda because everyone around me used soda for that. So I spent like 12 years or so in soda world, which wasn't too bad. I'm okay with that word. It's a very logical word for fizzy beverage. And now, for the last 3 years here, I had moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is again a very much pop region. Apparently, my adaptation circuits have worn out. I still say soda. 3 years later, I'm still sodaing it up. But I don't normally just shout out soda. I just, when we're referring to it between the two of us, say soda as opposed to pop. Soda sounds more adult to me than pop does. Um, I don't know. I kind of like it better. But it gets called different things around the world and the country alone. Some parts of even this country straight up just call everything a Coke, which annoys me. Soda pop, fizzy drink, whatever you feel like calling it's fine in my book. As long as you're not brand naming it like calling. It's like I don't even mind someone calling a tissue a Kleenex or an adhesive uh, strip a Band-Aid. Those are words that are basically accepted as the brand name is the actual word, even if you're not using the brand name product. But calling a Pepsi a Coke, that just don't feel right. I don't want to call a Mountain Dew a Coke. That's weird. And quite a few other countries do it. I know a lot of the South apparently does that. Um, I definitely would prefer soda pop or some other fizzy beverage related name. And there's enough of them out there. It's not like we don't have names to call these things. Uh, so, yeah, I currently live in a pop area and I say soda because I'm just stuck in my ways. I'm an old fart. Um, what do you call it where you live or where you come from? Depending on how stuck it is in your head, what you say compared to what everyone around you says. I'm just curious. So yeah, you have homework here in the comments. I don't know what you call your number twos, your number ones, the function of removing them each, and what you call your fizzy beverage. There, I got a lot for you to comment on this week. Get busy, children. I'll be checking all your answers and making sure to grade and judge you equally harmfully for whatever you felt like saying. Nah, I ain't gonna judge you. I actually am curious, so please let me know in the comments. I want to know what words you use. Is there anything else strangely worded that you out there have regional dialects for that you've noticed other places say something slightly different for the same product or same function or same whatever. I'd love to know. So, yeah. Well, thank you for listening to my babbling about words tonight. And appreciate you sitting through this and watching. And for my one Patreon that asks for that. Thank you for indulging me in my being a fluffy Mewtwo sissy puff tonight. I just felt like doing that, and well, it happened. All right, my little Pokemans. Definitely thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the little dingly bell to let you know whenever I post new videos. And my Patreon link is in the description below if you're so inclined to assist making my channel better. Every penny helps, and I appreciate every single one. But for now, I again want to thank you, all my little Pokemans. Mewtwo appreciates every single one of you for watching, especially all the way to the end. And I hope you all have a fluffy, pretty rest of your day, and wish me luck on hitting that end video button I'm about to do, because these are not exactly good button pressers.